Hello, Culture Matters podcast. I'm so excited to introduce you to our guest. Before I do that, here's a quote just for this episode. The higher we soar, the smaller we appear to those who cannot fly. Friedrich Nietzsche. Our guest's been flapping his wings since those high school motivational speeches. He's a leader in an industry we all love, even if we don't know what it is. Part of the American dream. He's a friend of the Culture Matters podcast, an early supporter. I mean, we're talking season 2, episode 18. Our guest was actually on the show before there was a show, before people even listened. It was just me and them to episode 262. And just as an inspiration to the mortgage industry and even those outside of it with their hustle, their shredding, their get shit done. Man, Josh Pitts, thanks for coming back to the Culture Matters podcast, man.
Bro, Jay, you are one of those people that when I have the opportunity to hang out with, just to talk with, just to share a moment with, even on a phone call, a text message, I look forward to it. My wife asked me, she's like, who in the hell are you doing a podcast with at this hour? Like, she's like, he must be important because you don't take this is time with my family. This is time with kids. She's like, you never take calls that late. And I'm like, baby, this is Jay. Like, this is an old friend. This guy means the world to me. He has built an amazing community, and what he continues to do, he inspires, he leads, and he is one of those people that, yes, I am going to take time out of my evening and I'm going to shred with Jay. So I'm humbled and honored to be hanging out with you, my friend.
Thanks so much. Yes, likewise. I remember years ago, we were at some event, which it had to be a 2020 or something where we first met. You were doing interviews with people. I mean, I just want to set the frame for the audience. Interviews with people, content with people. It felt like back then that was kind of a thing that was like almost outlierish or almost weird, not taken seriously. Today, I feel like people are envious of that in the sense it's almost like it's a normal thing. So my question in that or common culture to do that, what's your advice to the nomads, the mavericks listening to this that feel like they're on the cusp of the next thing and people aren't getting it yet? As someone that's
Ooh.
been that.
Yeah, it's interesting that you say that. And honestly, Jay, this last week to me has been incredibly interesting. As you know, I think I've shared with you, my life is over the last 6 months has drastically changed. We sold our house in Park City, moved our entire family onto a sailboat. Like we're living on,
Congrats.
thank you, man. I'm literally in my sailboat right now. I'm sitting in my sailboat, like in our studio on the sailboat. And why I even bring that up is to
Wait,
your
you're not
question.
treading water, you're shedding water. Shredding water.
Exactly. Yeah,
Shredding. Sorry,
I'm
just
shredding, dude. That
cheesy
literally
joke
what
of
I
just
no, I love it. But why I bring that up is recently we went through this Hurricane Helene. And first and foremost, for those listening to this, this will air later, but many people were devastated by this, lives turned upside down. And I think it appropriate to mention this because in the grand scheme of the world, in the grand scheme of our daily lives, we have these events that happen. And even to your quote that you started this with, people seeing us fly, people not being able to recognize our distance, what we've been able to achieve and overcome. And I think more than ever, we have to take a step back and realize what we are truly capable of and how truly blessed we are, how truly fortunate we are for every single day. Because we have events that take place in our life, from a hurricane to whatever it may be, that in the blink of an eye, in a moment's notice, things can change drastically, literally change our life forever. And so, for those people who are on the cusp, who are wanting to go down this journey, who are second guessing themselves, who are doubting their skills, now's the time. Now, stop making excuses. Stop letting fear get the best of you and just start hitting the record button. And funny enough, I was talking to a really good friend. I did another podcast earlier today with my good friend Kyle Draper. If you don't know Kyle, you should absolutely
dude,
brilliant.
everybody's telling me I gotta meet this guy.
You need to meet Kyle. Like, the dude is one of the most, like, he's like you and I. He has so much energy. His story is absolutely phenomenal. But him and I were having this conversation earlier today, along these same lines. When it comes to changing people's lives, when it comes to impacting people's lives, we make what we choose to make it what it is. And we were talking about this in the sense of, if you're not good at creating video, of doing a podcast, of going on a journey like you have done and you've inspired so many to do, the best place that you can start, Jay, is start sending a video to one of your good friends. Start sending a video, whether it's Jay, whether it's a coach, whether it's a friend. So many people get hung up on the, well, what do I look like? What do I sound like? What am I doing wrong? And one of the best ways to overcome that is just start doing it. Like, start sending video messages, start sending audio messages to friends, start sending these things. So it's repetition, like any sport, like any amazing athlete, it's repetition. It's getting better and better and better. Your first couple are going to suck, and that's okay. Like, it's absolutely okay. I'm giving you the permission to suck. You're going to get better as you send every single video, as you send every single recording. So you are on the cusp, whether you're looking to make a breakthrough right now in it, whether you're looking to start a podcast, whether you're looking to do something new or something different, unique, and start impacting and changing people's lives. You just have to do it. Like, you're right there. And as I mentioned just a second ago, if you wait too long, you never know what life altering moment could hit, and all of a sudden it's gone. And now, like, it's almost it's unreachable, because whatever happened outside of your control happened.
What about the listeners that are saying, I want to have a podcast? I don't have the equipment.
Oh,
I need a mic. I don't know what to get. Maybe
bro.
I'll put it off when I get my Christmas money and get my money. Let's start there, because I know there are listeners that want a voice.
I hope there are people listening today right now who are literally, and there are, I guarantee it. Jay, you and I know we've been doing this for so long. You know, you have your podcast, I have my show, that we've been doing this for so long. That's something we get quite frequently. And I always tell people, and why we launched Shred It last year, our video editing platform, and we did it on a mobile device, was purely because we didn't want this excuse that you just said. So many people were coming to us, Josh, Shred, what equipment do I need? What camera do I need to buy? What microphones? What mixer? What lighting? Da 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 da. And I'm like, none. You don't need. The most powerful device that you have are our phones. Whether it's Android, whether it's iPhone, whatever phone you have, the cameras on them, the microphones on them are amazing. You don't need to go out and spend hundreds or thousands of dollars on equipment. What's more important than anything, Jay, is your voice. Like, that is what truly is important. I am shooting this entire podcast on my iPhone right now. Like,
Really?
absolutely. I'm on my iPhone. I have it plugged into my computer. Like, and it's literally running. That's my camera. You don't need thousands of dollars worth of cameras. Yes, I have my microphone, especially for a podcast like this. I really like audio.
Looks great.
But I will say this, because people always are like, okay, well, Josh, if I want microphones, if I really want to take it to the next level, I don't know if people can actually see on the podcast. These are the DJI.
Yeah. You'll be proud of me. We have this on YouTube now. We're doing video.
Let's go.
We've elevated to video as well.
This is amazing. So this is perfect then. So
since season 2, we didn't have video.
Big. I say it was just audio. So look at this, like, stepping up. I love this.
That's why you keep coming back. I need to take action, and then when you come back after I take action, there you go. So
I love it. If you want to start a good set of microphones, the DJI wireless microphones are right here. They're my favorite microphones in the world. All my videos, go look at if you go to my Instagram, if you go to my YouTube, if you go to any of my pages, you'll see me quite frequently with these microphones. Why I love them is they're wireless, number one, and there's 2 of them in a set. So if you want to do an interview in person with somebody, it hooks up to your phone. You plug it into your phone.
Oh, wow.
You got an amazing microphone. And I think, like, it's less than $200. Like, that is the best. That's the only investment. Like I said, it plugs into your phone. You're good to go.
Selfishly, I want advice on how do I go about doing Jay on the street.
Oh, dude, I
just thought of that now.
Dude,
it's like,
that's
I need to level up in that way.
a lot of my brand, and that Jay was doing like Shred on the street. Like, that was my favorite thing to do, is grabbing people doing impromptu interviews. And these were my go-to microphones for years. They've gotten better and better and better, but these are them, because again, there's 2 of them. I can literally pull one out. I hook this little bad boy up to my phone, hook one of these onto you, hook one of these onto me, and we're off to the races. It's clear as day audio, like you and I, you're hearing us now. It's amazing amazing audio, takes out the background noise,
Were there
does
tricks or tips that you'd give that you ways that you use to start conversation and keep it from being awkward in the beginning when you went up to I'm imagining you going up to
yeah,
people randomly at a conference. Like, what would be your advice to someone that wants to
this is a
kind of even use that as a social experiment of breaking the ice with people, building up some type of confidence and
my biggest recommendation for this is a really good question. I always recommend people start with, what have you thought about the what are your feelings being here? What have you felt? You know this. Like
that's
you
good.
can probably get way deeper into this than I, but what being at this conference, what has it meant to you? Why are you here? Have you achieved what you have come for? Because anybody at an event has spent their time, has spent their money to be at this event. So I literally just ask them like, hey, why are you here at the event? Has it been fruitful for you? Have you had conversations? Have you met the right people? Would you come back to this event? Just things like
Perfect.
that. And Jay, it is so easy.
Wow.
I've literally approached so many people like this, and I have plenty of people in the past that I'm like, clearly they don't want to talk about this. They're not going to be a good interview. And I've had people I knew instantly as soon as I was talking with them, it was going to be an amazing conversation.
Were you was there apprehension or nerves the first 100 times?
For me,
Uh-huh.
absolutely. It's still to this day, Jay. I approach people and I still get a little bit nervous. Now it's almost become fun. The first 100 were a little bit nerve-wracking.
Because I would think that that's a different medium. So, like, I've done this a lot, but I've
Yeah.
never done it walking cold up to somebody in a conference setting. That's like an alien medium.
It honestly becomes so much fun, Jay, because both you and I, eh, people see us as we love people, but at the same time, we have our own introverted
Oh,
ways. So
absolutely.
walking up to somebody cold, strange, like you never know what they're going to say, you never know how they're going to react. But now it's almost become fun to the point where I look forward to somebody like having an awkward conversation, because if you know people and the more you do this, you get to be able to read. So I think I've shared this with you. I love poker. I'm a huge Texas Hold'em. I play a lot of poker. I love reading people. I love understanding people.
Yeah.
And I love when I can walk up to somebody and tell right off that they clearly are uncomfortable with the questions I'm asking them. And what's even more fun is if you can turn somebody from being super uncomfortable to actually having a great conversation and getting some amazing feedback from them. And then you ask them like, hey, would you be willing to do a quick video? People are like, no. Like most people are uncomfortable. They're like, no way. And I'm like, but why? What you just shared with me, imagine how many people that if we share your message, if we share what you just told me, how many lives I could possibly change, how many people you could impact. And if, again, you make it about them, we as human beings, we love that recognition. It's that old, it's the adage like grown men cry or babies cry for it and grown men die for it. Like people want to
Wow.
be recognized. And so if you can turn this entire like walking up to somebody saying, getting to know them a little bit and getting to pull something amazing out of them for a conversation is super fun.
What what is it about that that's become so valuable in our culture for consumers to pay attention to? Because for the business owners listening to this, there's a method behind there's a a reason behind this madness. There's eyeballs and clicks and decisions and revenue. What is it about our, why is this where's the value in your mind?
In my mind, for the consumer more than anything,
Yeah, yeah.
you get real conversations. It's not scripted. It's not a sales pitch. You get real, like if I were to walk up to you and we're at an event and I really get your honest, real feedback in the moment. Your emotions, maybe you just had a great conversation or a bad conversation. As a consumer, if I see an interview, if I see myself talking to you, or if I see you talking with somebody else, and I see the raw, genuine reaction to whatever is going on, I can say, wow, like Jay just gave me his real feedback. Like he thinks this event, if I was thinking about going to this event next year as a consumer, or I was thinking about buying this product of somebody that Jay is talking to, and I see a non-scripted, very authentic conversation that just happened, like man on the street, Jay, one of my favorite things to do is when I approach somebody, I don't want it to be scripted. I don't want to be like, hey, I want to do an interview with you and I want you to touch on this, this, and this. That almost gives like, it gives them a chance to number one, they almost get more fearful. If you're just
Yeah.
like, hey, let's like you and I do, we had no script, you and I today. We have nothing, like nothing planned. Like we can just have a real conversation. As a consumer, that's something that I know is real. Like there's no pitch. There's no planned sales pitch on this.
Mm.
We're just sharing value and we're sharing the real raw conversation.
What do you think about these advertisements when I'm watching a YouTube interview or lecture that pop up where the actual pundit or host all of a sudden starts talking to me as a consumer about like Viagra or some security system for my phone, VPIN or whatever the ad is that's in my brain, where it's you or me. We're the host. We're now all of a sudden we're doing an ad. I'm curious what your thoughts on that because that's been a recent couple year thing where I'm
Yeah.
watching YouTube and the host is now, instead of it going to a commercial, the host is saying the
Yep.
commercial. And I can't even click past it. It's just part of the show.
Yep. I think it's something that has become more widely accepted. It's like as you mentioned, back in the day of YouTube, when an ad would pop up or when a sponsor would throw in some type of clip or something like that. Um, it was the norm because watching TV over the years, we were accustomed to ads. We had become attuned to ads. But I honestly think things have continued to Tom Bilyeu is a great example of this. I don't know if you follow Tom
Yeah,
or watch his
yeah.
stuff.
The
He,
what's his show called? Impact Theory?
Impact Theory. Tom has done this for years. Tom's been doing this probably he was one of the first people to do it. And so Ryan Holiday's another one in his podcast. He did the same thing that he just goes into, hey, this episode is sponsored by da 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 da. This is why. And honestly, as a consumer, I'm totally okay with that. Now, again, going back to the genuine or versus disingenuine, I watch plenty of podcasts and plenty of shows on YouTube where they're just doing it for the ad dollars or they're just doing it for the rep. And you know who I'm talking. Like they're whatever YouTube channel you watch, or whether you watch it on Facebook or wherever you're watching it, you can tell when it's just an ad. What makes a difference for me, honestly, Jay, I'm totally cool if you're going to pitch me. I'm totally cool if you're if you're backed by a company or a product or whatever, somebody sponsoring the channel. I'm good, absolutely fantastic if you believe in the product, if you believe in the service, if you believe in the company that is paying you to do this sponsorship, if you use the product, if you truly believe it can benefit
Mm.
others all day long. And you can tell, like you can really feel the energy. Like if somebody gave you or I said, hey, we're going to pay you to do this sponsorship. If I didn't believe in it, I'm not going to do it. I've had plenty of companies over the years approach like, hey, can you do a spot for us? I'm like, no, I appreciate it. Thank you. But I don't believe in your I don't feel comfortable. It may not be I even don't believe in it. I just don't feel comfortable. I've never used your product. Like
Mm.
I can't honestly say whether people should be using it or not. And that's disingenuous. You shouldn't want me to do an ad or a sponsorship for you because I'm not a real person using your product. So yeah, Jay, I think it's going to become the norm. We're going to see more and more of it, and I'm okay with it as long as the person giving the ad or the sponsorship believes in what they're talking about.
You think it could okay, so do you think the person's authentic by like the host, the
Mhm.
pundit, their authentic buy-in of the product's value will be revealed to their audience one way or another? And you think that could have a positive or negative impact on their audience's trust in them?
100%. Like, absolutely. And especially, I follow some people as of late as well, where they are sponsored by a product or they soft pitch their product. They talk about it, and then within 2 weeks, they're talking about a competitor's product.
Mm.
Like, and it's like, like, wait, hold on, pump the brakes. Like, you told me 2 weeks ago I should be using this, or I should go buy this, and then all of a sudden you're going to this. That's what exactly, like, it creates distrust. Like, well, you said I should be doing this. Now I should be doing this. So are you just trying to get ad revenue? Like, you're trying to get dollars from these companies? You have to be able to truly believe in what you are. And that's why I've been so very careful with the companies we have partnered with over the years, the products we have ever shared with our community and with our industry. Is I have to truly believe in what I'm sharing. I have to know that it's going to be valuable to the consumer. And if it's not, it is creating a distrust. Every relationship that we have, we're trying to build more trust. We're trying to build more confidence. And if we continue to pitch products or continue to share products that we're not truly aligned with, we create it does the opposite.
What's this company again? This was it a an editing feature that you mentioned
Yeah,
earlier?
shred it.
What is Shred It and why is it helpful?
Shred It is a video editing platform that me and my team built um, about a year and a half ago. We had so many people coming to us, Jay, that they said, "Hey, Jot, to our conversation here, I want to get started in content. I want to create content. I don't know where to start. I don't know how to edit videos. I don't know how to do this and this." So for a while, we were teaching people how to use Adobe, how to use CapCut, how to use these different editing softwares. And so many of them came back to us and said, "Josh, this, like, I appreciate you teaching me this, but I don't have time. I'm a mortgage professional. I'm a real estate professional. I'm a car deal. I'm an insurance person. I'm whatever you are, whatever background." They just said, "I don't have time to do my own editing. Like, I'll record the video, I'll shoot the video, but I don't, I don't have the knowledge and expertise to make my videos look like the best, like the Brad Lees or the Gary Vaynerchuk's. I don't know how to make my videos look really good. Can you just do it for me? Like, I see your videos you put out, they look great. Can you just edit my videos?" So we said, you know what? What if we built a service, a mobile app that people could download on their phone, shoot a quick video, upload it to the app, and within 48 hours or less, it was back on their phone with captions, with graphics, with whatever they want. So they look like they have a video editing team in their pocket. And that's what we do.
Wow.
That's what Shred It has created, is a video editing team in your pocket.
What are some of the misnomers around content, video content, that those that are in business right now, they would otherwise be benefiting from that marketing and branding and sales strategy, but they're not. It's like, because there's some of the misnomers.
Yeah, one of the biggest misnomers right now, Jay, is that you have to create so much content. Gary Vaynerchuk is responsible. I love Gary. Interviewed him, fantastic guy. But one of the mistakes, or one of the things that I do not agree with him on, and one of the misnomers to your point, is that you have to be posting multiple times a day. You have to be posting, like, he talked like you should be posting 10 pieces of content a day, which is ridiculous. Like, if you tried to post 10 pieces of content a day, you would get burned out. Something that I talk about, like, post as many times in a week that you feel you can commit to. If that's 2 to 3 a week, that's great. That's a great start. Even 1 to 2 times a week. If you're posting 1 to 2 times a week consistently, Jay, you are doing leaps and bounds ahead of your competition out there. So that is a misnomer that I hear so frequently, is like, "Oh, I need to be posting, twice a day or 3 times a day, and I just can't do that." Yes, you can't do that. You are not a media company. If you're not like, you shouldn't expect to be a media company. You should expect to be Jay. You should expect to be a real human being that can
Josh,
record, do it,
in,
get it.
in respect for shredding it, I'm trying to keep this authentic. I got room service here.
Let's
How are you?
go.
Yeah, just yes, ma'am. Just come right in. I want to keep this live as we talk.
This is amazing.
Yeah, because every time I talk to, I level up. Let me just get you some. Can you hold this for a second? I gotta get you this. Here we go. I gotta keep this live while we. How are you? Sorry, I'm on the show here.
This is amazing. Ladies and gentlemen,
There
like,
you go.
this is why I love Jay.
Yeah,
He's
I'll
so
just start
real,
that for you.
like, and one of the most genuine people I've ever met in my entire life. This could go down as probably one of the coolest things. I've been on a lot of podcasts in my life.
You have a great
And the
night, all
fact,
right?
listen to Jay and his interaction with this incredible young
Dude,
woman.
I'm
Like,
like, I'm not
amazing.
gonna move our show. I don't want to pause it, right? I want to, it's just to keep it real, because one of the things I'm trying to work on is my ability to, well, culture, right? Like, connect people, get out there,
Yeah.
it's been a slow evolution for me. I got to admit. I mean, I've gone from the chin phase, like where to. But anyway, I was like, so just to keep it live,
Okay, this is the coolest thing. Literally, we couldn't have scripted this better if we wanted to, because you were talking about the misnomer. I actually have goosebumps literally talking about this right now because of what you just
I
did.
mean, I'm learning from you, dude. I'm
Look at
watching your
your
stuff.
shot right now and look at what just happened. There was so much imperfection with what just happened. It is so like that's what so many people come to me, especially
Well,
executives.
I was nervous too. I didn't want to put the lady in the shot
I,
because
you,
like she
you should
didn't
have.
ask to be in my show.
It would have been
I
amazing
don't
to
know what
see.
the right thing to do. And I
Yeah,
wanted also didn't want to disrespect her. Like,
of
hey, what's
course.
your name? Because
You did
like
it
if I was her, I'd
perfect.
be like, this guy's on a show. What is he doing? Is he selling me?
Oh my gosh, dude.
Sorry
But
to interrupt you, but like I was nervous. I was like,
you did it perfect. But that you did it so like there was so many little like flaws in it. Look at your shot right now. So you went from having a background to now where you're like you have a door hinge just off your left shoulder. Like
Yeah, I'm
this is
kneeling on the ground because I'm still awkward. I'm worried about getting up and going over back to the other side of the room.
you can do whatever you want, but this is actually this could we couldn't have scripted this better. The misnomer with people, they think their content, like I said, especially executives, they think it has to be perfect. They think it has to be a Steven Spielberg production. They think it has to be something that is like, oh, it has to be so polished. It has to be so like if it doesn't look aesthetically pleasing, I can't post it. People are going to judge me. Jay, you have one of the most impactful podcasts in the country, and you're
Thanks.
kneeling on the floor in front of like a door, like in a hotel room and like and it's awesome. It's amazing content. Like
And
it
there's like
is
the clothes are on we haven't even unpacked.
yes. But who
I've
like
got clothes on the floor. I'm glad the cleaner came to clean the room.
dude, but that's it.
We can eat the we got some chips and some
Let's go.
I don't know if this is good to show,
Heck yeah.
some hamburger. Oh, they forgot my dessert. Oh no, where's my dessert? I gave her all this. That's all right. First world problem. I know I ordered an ice cream, Josh.
Dude, that's
Although
you ordered
maybe
ice cream and you weren't gonna eat it. It would be melted.
yeah, no, I ordered ice cream. I was overly excited for this. Jenna's told she's out. She said I could order room service.
Dude,
So I if I'm hungry, I overeat or I overorder.
so, dude, this is even better. This again, this is the perfect imperfections right here. Is they forgot your ice cream because they knew it was going to melt by the time we had this pot. So you're going to have to call them back, like, hey, they forgot my ice cream. Can you bring it up? So it'll be perfect. Like you're going to be able to eat it. It won't be melted.
I'll have to practice gratitude. Yeah, I'm pretty sure unless it dropped. No, it's just the chip. I mean,
You're going to
so
get your ice cream. It's going to be
I'm
amazing.
keeping it real. I mean that's. But like this is my question to you.
Yeah.
There's something in me as I've been working on opening up and leveling up and being more culture, right? Not just
Yeah.
teaching, but being it, because it's hard to balance the two for me. That feels like I need to be more that it's like an intuitive thing, like more like this, right? I was like, I want to do that. What but is that being disrespectful to the audience? Like
No,
or like you know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're
Like it's
saying.
because those are some thoughts like, oh, am I just, what is this, real TV or reality? Like, is it lowering my credibility?
No.
Because my heart says I should be myself.
Yeah.
But so what are your thoughts on that? Because those are some hesitations even that I would have in my head.
See, and most people have those hesitations, Jay, to be honest. Like we don't, if it's not perfect, if it's not scripted, if it's not polished, we worry about it. We start, well, are people going to judge us? Are they going to worry about what it looks like, what I sound like? Dude, how many times have I stumbled over myself? I don't say everything perfect all the time. And why I love content so much. It's so funny. I was just giving Gary Vaynerchuk a hard time, but Gary is, I'm not trying to give Gary a hard time. He has been such an inspiration to me over the years. And I'm going to talk about him right now in the way that look at the content he has created over the years. He arguably is probably the largest name in the marketing world, the marketing and content creator world, the most recognized, the most revered person in the entire industry of content creation. And look at what he does. He's always creating content on the go. It's not perfect. He's in cars, he's in restaurants, he's walking down New York City, busy streets, and it's not always perfect audio. It's not always perfect lighting, but it's real. So, Jay, to your exact point, I always tell people you should be creating more of that content. Your community will connect with it more because they truly like they have busy lives as well. They're not always sitting in front of a camera having a conversation like this. That's why I think it's so great to share that content. It's your food showed up. You had to go get it. It's okay to show that, like, it's okay to show your community that. It's okay to show your listener, like, that's real life. They're going to appreciate that you're about to go after we're done with this. You're going to go eat your hamburger, your fries, and your chips. You're going to get your ice cream and you're going to enjoy it. Like,
And
that
then I
is
got
real
another
life.
show at 9.
Dude,
I'll be ready to rock. Yeah.
you are a baller, dude. You are absolutely
I
a
love this
beast.
stuff.
That's nuts.
Yeah, Mike's coming back on the show. But shout out to Mike Militia, episode 159. I'm pretty sure he's coming back. He's on the West Coast. Stay up late. I got
Dude,
friends on the West Coast. I got to get up early and stay up late. I can't have a conversation with them.
it's because
Like,
culture matters, dude.
that's it. I'm curious what your thoughts are on um the current morale in business right now. Is it better than it was a year ago? Up, or is it still like dazed and confused? Uh, there's like an abdication of leadership.
There's a oh man, I don't want to say this. This sounds sounds terrible, but it's true. There's almost a sense of false hope. The conversations I've had recently, people were so excited to be getting through 2024. I think you and I didn't have this conversation. I had this conversation with somebody else at an event earlier this year. I was speaking at somebody, a main speaker, one of the keynote speakers, had the saying "survive to 25." Survive, like basically you have to survive to 20. And I was like, this is like what? Like you're saying this from stage? The community here, you're basically just telling them to survive to 25? Like that's a terrible month. Like that's a terrible, like I can't believe I'm hearing this from the main stage. As a matter of fact, when I spoke, my turn to spoke, I'm like, no. I'm like, I'm sorry to
I
call this
love
person
that.
out, but you should be thriving now. Like thrive until 25 is what you should be doing because there's opportunity in everything. So to your question, Jay, is honestly, there's still fear. There's still people were hoping that the economy was going to get better. Mortgage professionals in particular and real estate professionals, they were hoping rates were going to come down. They were hoping they were going to get more inventory on the market. Things are sure they're picking up a little bit. We're seeing some momentum, but there's still challenges. But in every challenge, there's opportunity. I think so many people are wanting it to get better and they're just waiting. They're just sitting back. Oh, it's going to get better. It's going to get better when you have to take advantage of now. Because if you're not taking advantage of now, somebody else is. So be willing to make yourself uncomfortable and find the opportunity right now. Because if you don't, somebody else will. So the general consensus and the mindset still, Jay, is it's going to get better. Like, oh, it's going to get better. But I'm going to wait to do anything until it gets better, which is just such a wrong way of thinking because there are people out there right now who want what you have, who
Have
want
you
to
met
hear.
people that are succeeding right now in
Oh,
the mortgage real
absolutely.
estate industry?
Absolutely. All day long.
If you were to, uh, break down their stats of like character attributes, philosophy, structure, what does that human look like? I want to put on their armor.
Oh, 100%. And I'll even mention one actually, Sean Benosian. I don't know if you know Sean.
Oh, he's coming on finally. Yeah, I
Oh my
love that
gosh,
guy.
dude.
I've
Sean,
never had him on the show yet.
oh, you're gonna love him. Tell him I mentioned him on the podcast
Heck
because
yeah.
Sean is one of those guys that he's the number one guy in the country. And honestly, until I met Sean, it was kind of like, oh, is this guy? No, 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 no. But the dude is battle tested. I had him on a podcast recently, and we titled it Battle Tested. And
Wow.
he's just so real, and there's no fake bone in this guy's body, and it's all about, hey, I'm in. The reason I'm so successful and the reason I'm number one is he's like you. He's willing to hustle. He's putting in the late out. Even as successful as he is, he has late nights. He has early mornings.
Really?
He has the days where he's spending with his family. He has the time that's allotted to be important when it needs to be. But the people who are succeeding right now, Jay, are the ones who are willing to put in the work. Right now is one of those times you shouldn't be sitting back and just letting things go.
Have you seen or have you been to one of his events with his realtors?
I haven't.
Christine brought me to one.
Oh, awesome.
It was like the most unbelievable thing I've ever seen.
Oh, the dude it's crazy. He's amazing.
It was like a symphony from a cultural, like the degree that he poured into his vendors, spotlighted them, and his realtor partners. It was really a work of art. I think it's unbelievable that not surprising, but also unbelievable that that was the person that you mentioned, because that guy understands culture.
100%, dude. The dude gets culture, and that's how he is so successful. Is the people he
Yeah.
makes the people around him, his culture, his tribe, his people, he makes them feel like they are the most important people in the world. Like they're his everything.
If you were giving a strong critique to our listeners that truly want to dismantle and undermine all the success they've created in the past, right now, how would you give a master class? It's be like the anti shredding.
Jeez, the
Yeah,
anti-shredding.
your help. It's like a satire.
That's a good question, dude. That's a really good question. Um,
Yeah, like DERSH. It's like Durs. You want to? You're a Dur.
are you See, are you
Yeah,
Durst?
I like to read things backwards sometimes. It
That's
doesn't. Yeah,
impressive.
Durs.
Um,
Durs.
Geez, nobody's asked me that ever before. And so like trying to think like
I mean, it just came into my mind right now.
that's a brilliant question. I mean, if you really were to do the opposite of shred, if you were doing the backwards of everything, you're not doing any like this sounds so simple yet so profound, is you're not don't do anything. Like wait, just keep hoping. Like that's it. Like you can't as much as hope. And I'm funny enough, we have an organization. Actually, I think I can say this on the show, but we're working on an organization that's going to be coming soon. It's our nonprofit that's Share Hope, repeat every
Oh,
day.
that's awesome.
So it's just look at your listeners are kind of getting a backstage pass to this, but sometimes I talk about hope that everybody, depending on what's your background, your faith, your personal beliefs, like hope is one of those things that drives so many people. But you can't just sit and hope for a better future. You have to be willing to act. So the opposite, the DERS of the, if you're doing the opposite, you can't just sit there and do nothing and hope for a better future. Hope for a better future for your kids. Hope for a better future for our economy, for your job, for your business to succeed. If you're doing the opposite, you're just hoping, and that's all you're doing. You have to be willing to do something, to act, to show up, to do the things that have to be done to be successful in this life. You can't just hope.
I love that.
I don't know if
What
that's
are
what you're
you
looking
most
for.
excited about Q1 to 2025?
I'm still excited for 2024. Like there's so much still like this what's so funny is like
I love that.
there's so many things right now, Jay, that especially as we're recording this podcast, we're getting ready. I was on a podcast on Monday. We're going into Q4. We're going into the holiday season, which is typically, especially in mortgage and real estate, is a slow season. People start taking time off, like, oh, well, nobody's buying. This is typically the time of year where things slow down. And I said, now is the time to step on the gas. Now is the time to take massive action, create content, record videos, be in front of your community, be in front of your audience, be there and let them know that you're always going to be there. No matter if it's the holidays, no matter if it's the end of the quarter, no matter whatever it is, you are constantly, consistently there, building that trust, building that admiration, building that respect with them. So do not take your foot off the pedal. Keep going. So I'm excited for 2024, the end, these last few months of the year. But in 2025, what I'm also excited for is every day tomorrow. Tomorrow's a new day. Tomorrow's a new opportunity. A new year brings so much opportunity to continue to improve on what you did this last year, to get better. That's I look at next year as like, what new content, how many more videos am I going to put out? Because every single video I get a little bit better. I learn something new. So I get to learn from
Mhm.
everything I've done in 2024, and 2025, I'm going to continue to become better and better and better at it. So that's what gets me excited is what can I do in 2025 that I learned from in 2024?
Um, it's the second we're recording this. After this will be my sixth interview and seventh podcast because I was on one this morning at 7 a.m.
Oh my gosh.
Last month, I want I want you to be proud of me.
Nice, dude. That
Last
is
month,
insane.
I recorded 65.
Oh my. That has to be some type of record, legitimately.
Half were interviews and half I want your critique on this and advice. Half were monologue or 30 days of thought. So
Hmm.
I started doing 30 days of thought where I'm reading, I'm going through the process again for myself,
Yeah.
where I'm reading my old thoughts, I'm writing my thoughts, and then I'm filming a monologue on my thoughts of my thoughts.
My
It's like
gosh.
I'm going through the process, and we're releasing the episodes on Sunday of me, and I'm reading that book. I'm thinking, this sucks. Like I was, I've grown, but it's a helpful process. So I'm putting that we're putting that out, but and so half were interviews and half were monologues. So the
Yeah.
monologue, other than 30 of thought, was um, on Instagram. The produced videos
Mhm. Yeah.
where maybe there's a producer behind us and they're asking for prompts and we're
Yep.
answering. I had this epiphany. Like, I don't want to ad lib it because I've been doing a lot of preparation with it. The podcast has taught me this because I prepare before episodes, at least thinking and
Of
revisiting
course.
things, and so I can ask better questions.
Of course.
And so what I thought was before I sit in front of that camera, I'm going to write down my thoughts of that topic that they give. Hey, give me the topics a little bit early, and I read them out. And then what I started doing, I started filming a monologue.
Mm.
So the prep for going in front of the camera to be produced is I write down my thoughts. Maybe there's like a paragraph and then bullet one and then ABC or two ABC or whatever. And then I'll film this monologue 12 to 25. And I get really excited. It's like therapy. Maybe it's 35 minutes. And now that's going out on Saturdays. So I've done all that. And then when I'm in front of that camera, all right, now I'm ready to hit that. That goes out on the Instagram.
Nice.
So there's been cathartic. I'm just curious what you think on that, or ways you could think maybe to even improve it, or general thoughts. Because one of the things I'm doing in the monologue is saying, "Hey, this topic is from Instagram."
Mm.
Meaning, if you follow me on Instagram, this topic, a minute, 3 minutes, I'm unpacking this in the next X amount, like an elaborate.
Love
So
it.
follow me on Instagram, and then I hope that on Instagram we say, "Hey, if you're not subscribed to the Culture Matters podcast, the long form of this topic is on the Culture Matters podcast."
Mm.
I want to feed the both back, but that's where
Okay.
like I've been able to do so many podcasts so quickly. Was yeah, I have great friends like yourself that'll jump on the show, and I love talking. And then so that was half, and then the other half was me starting to record these. Really just talk to myself, which is extremely rewarding.
Oh, I
For
bet. That
I
because
haven't
you're
done
one of
that.
those, as I say, for you, that I'm sure that's absolutely okay. I'm gonna put on my critique hat for a minute. Ready? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
actually,
Please,
let's do.
this
Hold
is
on.
live. Let's do it.
I'm gonna put my hat on back. Like now we're getting real. Like now
You're
we got
like
the real deal.
Stallone.
Like
That's like Stallone. That somebody told me that it's Stallone in a I don't know what movie that is, but yeah.
okay,
So
so here's like knowing social media and playing in the social media realm for as long as I have. Um, I love this idea. I cannot wait to hear these monologues, as a matter of fact, because you're one of those people that I have so much respect for and like
thanks.
admiration that these conversations are going to be brilliant. So I'm excited for them. Remember Instagram in particular, because you mentioned how, what is the length of these videos going to be on Instagram?
I think they're like a minute or something. They're short.
Perfect. Per
They're
I was
really
gonna say
short.
that is your goal. Like it,
Are you?
short form content on Instagram is what wins. Long, like people do not want long
Why?
form content. when we go on Instagram, we don't want to watch a YouTube video. We go to YouTube if we want to watch long form content, we go to YouTube. Short form content is what is true. Like that's what keeps people's attention. The average human being has a 2.7 second attention span on Instagram in particular. They don't want long form content. And if you don't get your message very quickly and very concise on Instagram, people are moving on. Like, so make sure those videos, they have to be under a minute. I would say if you can get to your point within 30 seconds.
Really? Okay.
Oh, absolutely. Like if that was be the critique, being from everything we
As
have
short as
learned.
possible with the most content rich.
Exactly. And it's okay. Like you in particular, and I mean this as the most respectfully as I possibly can, you are so eloquent with words, and you're one of those people who can dive into a topic and be so incredibly philosophical and shares so much depth in a very short amount of time, but break it down. Keep it so simple that if it's over a minute, shoot, there's another video here. Like if you can't get to your point in under a minute, it's like, okay, great. I need to simplify this, but maybe I can create 2 pieces of content. Maybe I can have 2 videos about the same topic.
I don't just lose people, I lose myself.
Exactly. 100%.
Like I get like, where am I going? So, okay, now that's one piece. What do you think about, do listeners care about these? Like, does my audience actually care what I have to say? And I don't mean that in a, yeah, I mean, that's how I feel, right? Like
A billion
I interview
percent.
people on the podcast. I love it. It's one of my love languages. It's taken years to get to the point, almost 55 months, where we'd even have this conversation where I'm going and, meeting the waitress over here, the room
Yeah.
service. Taking 55. If I'm self-aware about it, it's not like I was doing this freely
Right.
55 months ago. So do they care? Is it helpful to do the monologue? What does it
Absolutely.
actually do?
It connects me more with you because I know Jay. I know you're going to bring your energy. And if it's important to you, it's important to me as a member of your community. Somebody watching you, I'm going to see how much you're pouring into this. I'm going to see that it's important to you. And I always tell people, there are going to be people probably, Jay, that are like, I don't love this so much. Like, I don't connect, like, I don't get why he's doing this. You don't care. Like, that's okay. Everybody else, the people that you do connect with, that is going to change. Like, I'm going to see one of these and I guarantee it's going to make me smile. It's going to be like, man, I'm so glad I caught Jace. Like, that was brilliant. I'm so glad I caught that today. That is the goal of social. Like, that's it.
Hmm.
Like, that's what you're trying to accomplish. So, of course, they're going to care. And you don't need to worry about the ones that don't care because there's so many other people that do. I tell people all the time. That's why you can share whatever is important to you. So many people are like, Josh, can I share my personal hobbies? Can I share those things? Like, do I always have to be talking about mortgage or real estate or no? As a matter of fact, like people don't give a crap about mortgage or real estate 99.9% of their life. Like they care about Jay, they care about Josh, they care about Susie, they care about Joe. Like they care about the people. And so if you are sharing these things, Jay, they're going to care because you care. That's what's true. And that's what everybody listening, you have to remember that. Whether you're sharing knitting or gardening or doing a monologue like you're doing, if you care about it and you show your audience and your community that you care about it, I promise they will too.
I have another selfish question. If the quality is there, which could always be argued, right? Quality. And I don't mean sound and video. I mean like the content. If
Content.
there's quality, whatever, if the value is there, volume, is that a bad thing? Can that be, can volume have an inverse relationship with? I could say that more clearly. If the quality is there, can I go wrong putting more out in any
No.
way?
No way. Especially if it knowing you and the quality, and I'm so glad you defined that because quality is not defined as aesthetically, the video, the audio, the lighting, it's in the content. You could, if your quality is extraordinary, which yours will be, because I know you, it will not hurt you if you're putting out a post a day. It will not hurt you if you're putting out 1 post a week about it. Because again, the quality is there. Your community, your audience, the people that you are talking with, they will so appreciate it, whether it's once a day or once a week.
What do you? I wonder if like one of the reasons people think quantity, maybe quality and quantity could have like they could correlate with quantity could undermine quality
Absolutely.
in theory because
You bet.
but it doesn't mean there's a causal relationship. Like the more you put out, the worse you are. It,
Agreed.
but at the same time, I want to go back to your earlier point about you mentioned posting a bajillion times a day isn't necessary at the same time.
Mm-mm.
So what would be what's the happy medium, or is there not? It's like work life balance. It's so subjective.
It is so subjective because you and I could be different. Here's the thing, Jay. If you, and you will, as you're creating these pieces of content, if you find joy in it and it's truly valuable in context to your community, you could create 10 of them a day. And again, this is fun because I'm literally like eating crow. I'm going back on what I'm saying. You could put out 10
It's a
pieces
Culture
of that.
Matters podcast,
Dude,
right?
this
We're
is
always
amazing.
doing this.
You could put out 10 pieces of content a day and it would still be valuable because you love it. I'm going to see it and it's going to be so amazing. There is no balance. That whether you're putting out 10 a day or 10 a year, if it's something that you truly enjoy and your community loves it and they're getting value from it, it doesn't matter the quantity that you're putting out. They're going to appreciate it, they're going to connect with it, and they're going to look forward to seeing the next one, whether it's like I said in 10 weeks or in 10 minutes. So
I don't know if you know a term around this, but you know how people have writer's block?
Mhm.
I've had content block where meaning like I know I don't see if you could like I have to I told myself I want to do this 30 days of thought excerpt.
Yeah.
And like I run around in circles in the hotel room, whatever. And like, I just can't do it right now, you know? And then it becomes almost like not, yeah, work, like negative. Have you ever experienced that?
Dude, I still experience that on it. And my team, I actually talk about this on our show quite often and within our own community, is that I will still experience that. And I
Me
know when
too. Yeah.
when I get to that point that the content I'm about to put out, if I don't look forward to going and creating it, it's not the right content to put out. Like I should not like I have
So you think
so
you
many
give it a
times.
break? Like you'll give
Oh
it a
yeah.
break?
You bet. I tell people all the time, like, it's okay to take a break on social media. They're like, but what about consistency? We're always not like, it's okay to take a step back. Your mental health and wellness, like, you will be able to create better quality content once you've taken a step back and find what brings you joy. Find those pieces of content that you're like, yes, I cannot wait. Those are the ones, Jay, typically quality wise, like my videos that I'm the most excited to go record are the worst quality because I'm usually like walking down
Yep.
somewhere, like the audio you like, but those are the ones I was so excited to share my message that I didn't want it to leave my brain. Like I'm like, I have to record this right now because I'm so excited for it. And those are the ones that do so well because
I
my
wonder
people,
how, man, I think there's like a conspiracy against authenticity. I don't want to make any marketers upset or like people that went to college for that and stuff, but like, I wonder if below awareness, there's at some level of like teams that do marketing almost figure out rationalizations for why things need to be changed just to stay relevant in as, and I don't mean it like, I could maybe offending some, but what I'm saying is like, if I'm walking down the street and just doing this terrible video, like there's all these trash videos on my YouTube. I actually don't think they're trash. It's me back then.
exactly.
And like I wonder if almost like it's not rational, a lot of this of what's going to connect with human beings. And the
No.
more rational it is, the less it works, but it looks
Oh,
good. So you could cover your ass in the marketing department.
exactly.
I think that's all bullshit.
100%.
Okay, so we're on the same page.
Oh, dude, especially when I've worked with companies and some of our clients in the past, where they come to us and they're like, "Yes, we have to again a well polished piece of content and it's so thought out and it's so structured," and they're so excited and we put it out and it just falls flat. Like it's because it's so disingenuous. Like it's just it doesn't work. Like you have to find some type of genuine authenticity in the content and the things that you're sharing, or people know when they're being
You know what
sold.
that makes me think of? Like
What?
I if I'm going to the movies with you and
Yeah.
we care about a certain movie, like there's an Interstellar or uh, one of our advisors was saying, "Hey, let's go watch the Interstellars coming out. They're bringing it back to theaters."
Hmm.
Shout out to Mike. And I'm thinking, okay, we both are massive fans of Interstellar. So the quality, we're going there the pre-context is we're fans. We're going there. We want that. But like if I'm scrolling and I don't know what Interstellar is, if it doesn't spark my interest in 0.0001 second, I'm not
Mhm.
paying attention. Is
Right.
that kind of the psychology behind that?
It is exactly the psychology behind it, and that's why sports fanatics connect so well with each other. Think of your favorite sports team or think of the sport that's wwhy fans, if you're a Detroit Lions fan and you see somebody post about Detroit Lions, as soon as you see it, Jay, you stop. You will stop scrolling
Yeah.
because they're your people. They're like, but to me, like it's so funny. People think I'm a big sports guy. Like I'm not. Like if I see sports, I keep scrolling. I don't, that's not what connects with me. And that's okay. That's what it's okay to recognize that I don't have to connect with you on everything you post. I don't have to connect with you on every piece of content, which is totally cool. Actually, I appreciate that more. Sure, there are things that Jay and I connect on Interstellar or whatever it may be, but there are other things like I don't want somebody to be the exact replica of me. I don't want us to be identical. That's what makes life fun. Like if we were identical, life would be boring as hell. But we have differences.
I love that. I gotta ask for you,
Yeah.
like another more advice. I just saw my right periphery. My next podcast needs to move it to tomorrow.
Hmm.
I'm not going to bed until I do a podcast
I love it.
because I need to keep my self-esteem high. You know, it's like I'm not leaving the office until I hit that goal.
Yeah.
What do you think I should when we pop off here after I eat? I gotta get more ice cream.
Yes.
I eat my cheeseburger, all that. What do you think? What should I do? Because I need to fill that. I'm excited. I'm in a good mood, right?
Yep.
Do I do a monologue, 30 days of thought? You have any ideas if we're just ideating?
Monologue
Uh,
it, dude. I can see it in you right now that that monologue that you're gonna create is gonna be like just the energy that you have right now. Like you said, you're gonna go get some food in you, you're gonna get some ice cream, gonna get the blood sugar up. Like you're gonna be like, you're so on it right now. You need to do a monologue. You could try to find another guest, but the problem with that is if you
just
find
go down the
somebody,
hallway. Hey, I'll knock
hey,
on the hotel.
dude, oh my gosh,
Whoa.
that would be the best content ever.
Ah, wow. This is good that it's recorded because I'm clearly not at that level. I just had such a level of inner doubt. And it's funny, like all the things like, yeah, like, because by the way, I'm at, if I went downstairs to the lobby, like, we have a lot of mutual friends in the industry that probably are downstairs at the lobby bar because I'm in Philly right now
Yeah,
that are probably partying up. Go grab them, get on this podcast.
you
But
could.
yeah, so I need to fill the space though. I mean, for myself, I got to keep the because like I don't know, I color code everything. So like here's something I've used to keep my energy high.
Yeah, yeah.
When I'm doing shows, like as I go through the day, I have a confirmed podcast in red. It says confirmed, and like as soon as I finish that, I hit it green, and I changed the to done with the green check mark.
Nice.
And I love seeing the day full of green. And
So
like
cool.
if it's rescheduled, like the next one, it
Yeah.
goes to yellow. I'm not going to bed at yellow.
No.
I'm
You gotta
going
go
to bed
green.
green.
I love it.
So it's
I
like super.
no, dude, I think you're in a monologue state.
Maybe
Personally,
I should just talk about that.
why not? Like that would actually be cool. Like talk about the green state. Like that
The green state.
well,
We just did that. I mean, it's like the Wizard of Oz. What happened?
yeah. Like
I'm not
literally.
on the yellow brick road.
The Yellow Brick Road, dude, it all
I'm
adds
not
up.
following the yellow brick road.
You're
This is
going
crazy. See, this
dude,
is
we
what
just
you do, though. This is why I say if anybody's listening to this Culture Writers podcast, you gotta shred it up with Josh. Bring his organization in part of your team. This is what he does every day for those smart enough to pay attention and shred and win in times. Doesn't matter whether they're quote unquote difficult times. This is what he does all day long. This was like a live coaching session, impromptu hit.
improv.
Because I'm ready to rock. I'm
Dude,
going.
You need to go do, like, I'm so excited. And when you release this the impromptu one that we just created, I cannot wait to listen to it because it's gonna be so good.
It's done. I'm getting right. I'm gonna have to, because procrastination is the art of living in yesterday,
Yep.
avoiding today and destroying tomorrow. Ben Franklin.
Yep.
So like I'm gonna get that cheeseburger. I might eat it while I'm talking
Do it.
because
How real is that,
I don't
dude?
want 40 minutes to go by. Before you know it, then Jenna's gonna call me, somebody's gonna
Yep.
have something. I'm gonna all of a sudden, oh Jay, how'd it go? Oh no, I followed the yellow brick road.
No, dude. No way. You're too in a green state right now, man. You gotta keep on it. Like, you gotta hit that hamburger. You gotta get that, like, get that food in your belly. Because again, and we all know, especially late at night, you eat something and you start like, oh well, I'm tired. It's been a long day. And it's easy to like, yeah, I've had a good day, so I'm
The
okay.
best would be if as soon as I hang up, I call the room service, let them know they didn't bring the ice cream, right? I hit record, I'm filming it. They come in with the ice cream.
Dude, please do that. That would be absolutely
It's like
brilliant.
perfect timing. Well, let's see what happens. So go green or go home. And if you're the listener and you're listening to this, I want you to understand this. This episode was brought to you by somebody that less than 10 years ago had a very successful career and what beyond what most ever could do. And then they realized there was something more. They had a spirit of them. They were ready to show up, hustle, repeat every day. And they decided to start doing content on Facebook, lives, and pre-developed, pre-produced content. And all these years later, they made it easy for you to shred. I'm trying to do my commercial right now.
I love it, dude.
Sponsored by, right? What was the damn company? I'm sorry.
Shred it. Shred it.
Shred it, and they've made Shred it so that you can create more success with less
Yep.
hassle and frustration. Now I sound like an infomercial at 4
Yep.
a.m. But
No, it's good.
Josh, love you, buddy. Thanks for
Dude, I
coming
love
on
you.
the show. You're the
Love you too,
man.
man. This has
Listen,
been absolutely amazing. Thank you so much,
it's
Jay.
it's we're gonna remember that this has leveled me up.
Oh, it levels both up. Every time I talk to you, every time we are sitting in a conversation, you inspire and you change lives every single day. Love you, man.
Thanks, brother. If you're listening to this episode, follow Josh, leave us a review on the Culture Matters podcast, and we will see you next time. Go green or go home.